Hey students, welcome back to Learning Management System. Today in session 6, we will discuss the pointers and structures and advantages and drawbacks of the pointers. Now we are almost at the end of the pointers chapter. Today we will discuss these two concepts, pointers and structures, advantages and limitations of pointers. As we discussed in previous sessions, like pointers to array, pointers to functions. Likewise, we can use pointers to structures also. Then what is structure? Yes, a structure is a collection of non-homogeneous data items. You studied this in your C program, C programming language. So it is not like arrays, as array contains the homogeneous data type elements, whereas structure contains non-homogeneous data type items. So for that also we can use pointers. Pointers can be used for structures whenever if we pass structure to function, then entire structure need to be copied. Okay, right? Meaning is when we pass the structure to a function as argument, then what need to be done? We should pass the entire structure. It may contains different data types items. So what is the use of using pointers to the structure? So here, if we use instead of structure passing to the function, if we use the pointers, then only memory address need to be copied instead of the whole structure data items. So by this, we can increase the efficiency of the program because we are just passing the memory address of the structure to the function, right? Reducing the memory size. What it is actually having the structure, the size of this structure will be more. Instead of that, the just memory address of the structure we are passing. Let me take one example. Struct person. I have three data types variables. First one is character type. Name is a array of characters. Second one is integer data type whose variable is age, and float it is weight. So three data items I have in my structure person, and here I have declared P1. Then how to declare a pointer to the structure? Simply assign the variable of the structure to the pointer. Here P1 is the variable of the structure person, and just assign P1 to the pointer, where P pointer is the PTR is the pointer. So this would assign the address of zeroth element of P1 to pointer. Here not entire address is assigned, just first zeroth address of the element P1 is assigned to the PTR. The pointer PTR will now point to P of 0, that is first zeroth elements will be pointed by the pointer, and its members can be accessed using the following notation. We can access the structure members through pointer by using the arrow operator. Pointer age, pointer weight, pointer name. Another way of accessing structure members through pointer is by using the dot operator prefixed with pointer enclosed in parentheses. In this way, pointer dot number, pointer dot name, and pointer dot price. This is the example of pointer to structure. So let me show you one demonstration of the pointer to structure example. Let me write the program. Include hash include stdio.h, then struct person here name of size 20 and int age float weight. Here I am using p1 as the variable of structure person, then int main struct person. Here I am declaring ptr as a pointer. Okay. And next I will point this ptr to the p1 and next ask the user to enter the details of the structure elements, that is enter name, scanf, %c, ptr, use the arrow operator, is name, then printf, enter age, scanf, %d, ampersand, ptr, age. So here I used 2 dash, that is wrong, just use single dash followed by greater than operator, then printf, enter weight, scanf, %f, ampersand, ptr, weight. This is what is asked by the user, asked to the user. Next, printf, structure elements are printf name %c n comma pointer name then printf age percentage comma pointer age printf weight %f for the float data type ptr weight then return. Okay students, now let me run this program. Compiler asking user to enter the name. So let me write the name of the user as say Subhash. Enter the age, for example 45 and weight 75. Weight say 75. It is I entered input as wrong, that is colon. So here I rerun it. Say Subhash, age 45, enter weight 75. Hence, it is the output. Structure elements are name Subhash, age 45, weight 75. Right? So structure elements are accessed through pointer. So what is the pointer here? P1, which is pointing to the address of the structure variable P1. Understood students how we can access the structure elements by using pointer. Okay. Next we'll see the notations, meaning following are some expression notations, what they mean. So if you see this expression, that is star pointer accessing P, the meaning is fetches whatever P points, where P is the structure variable, and star pointer accessing P++, the meaning is it increments P, whatever the P is pointing, that is incrementing P after accessing whatever it points to. And by using the parenthesis, keeping these two, pointer and variable P, inside parenthesis and using the increment operator, meaning is it increments whatever P points. And if you are simply using this pointer increment accessing P, meaning is increments pointer after accessing whatever it points to. That is, here pointer is incrementing, whereas here P is incrementing. P is the variable of the structure. In this notation, P is incremented, whereas here pointer is incremented. Understood students? So this is about pointers to structures. Now we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of pointers. So we discussed pointers concepts and where all it is used. It is used for arrays and we can use array of pointers and we can use arithmetic operations on pointers and even we can use pointers in strings operations also, and we can pass the pointers as arguments to the functions. Along with that, we can use pointers to the functions also. And now we discussed pointers to the structures. So this is the benefit of using the pointers. So now we'll discuss the advantages of pointers. Pointers provide direct access to the memory as it holds the memory address of various variables or array structures or functions, whatever it is pointing, that variable memory address it is holding. Hence, it provides the users to access the direct memory. Okay, and also it reduces the execution time of the program, and it provides an alternative way to access array elements. As we seen in the previous sessions, how to access array elements using the pointers. Pointers can be used to pass information back and forth between the calling function and called function. So this usage we have seen in call by reference function. Call by reference function or mechanism, you can say. What we have done there, by using the pointers, we passed the information back and forth between the calling function and call function. That is, whatever the changes happens in the call function, that is affected in the calling function also, right? Next advantage is pointers allows us to perform dynamic memory allocation and deallocation. So this we will discuss in the next session, how to allocate memory dynamically to the pointers and deallocate it. So dynamically we can allocate memory. What is the help of this dynamic memory allocation is, what is required for the execution of the program, that amount of memory only allocated, and after using that memory, if it is no longer required in the program, then that memory is deallocated. So to do this process, we use the pointers for allocation of memory at runtime. And the major application of pointer is in data structures like linked list, stacks, queues, trees, and graphs. In subsequent units, we will see how pointers can be used in implementation of these data structures like linked list. Linked list implement ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ we need pointers. Even stack also, stack operations perform ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ pointers ಬೇಕು. For example, inserting the elements in the stacks, that what we call the operation push, or removing the elements from the stack, what we call that as pop. For such operations, we use pointers. Also in queues, adding elements to the queues, removing elements from the queues, that is implementation of queues, we use the pointers. Also implementing the trees like binary trees or binary search trees. ಸೊ ಈ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟ್ರೇವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಲೈಕ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್, ಪ್ರೀ ಆರ್ಡರ್, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್, ಟ್ರೇವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಸ್, and also implementation of graphs, etc. So in general, pointers are very helpful in implementation of data structures. Okay, and pointers allows us to resize the dynamically allocated memory block. This will also we will see in the upcoming sessions how pointers are used for resizing the dynamically allocated memory. So dynamically we can allocate the memory, but if it is required more memory ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮೆಮೊರಿಯನ್ನು ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಗೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ನಾವು ರೀಸೈಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. And addresses of objects can be extracted using pointers. Like ಇವಾಗ structures, pointers to structures ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ. So P1 was one object we can say structurally. So that addresses can be extracted using the pointers. So these are the advantages of pointers. So pointers also have some disadvantages, or you can say drawbacks of pointers. So the major drawback of the pointer is segmentation fault, right? If you don't use pointers in proper way, or if you don't have clear idea about usage of pointers, then there will be problem in program. That is, uninitialized pointers might cause segmentation fault. Then what is segmentation fault? Segmentation fault is accessing a memory location which is not in use or which is no longer required. Still, we try to access that memory. That leads to the segmentation fault. We don't have any right uh, operation permission, or one trying to read that memory location which is no longer required. That causes the segmentation fault. Okay, students. So major cause of this segmentation fault is dangling pointers. So this is another concept of dangling pointers which causes the segmentation fault. So let me show you how dangling pointers cause the segmentation fault. So before that, let us understand what is dangling pointer. A dangling pointer is a pointer which points to some non-existing memory location is called a dangling pointer. Right? Dangling pointer ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? A dangling pointer is a pointer which points to some non-existing memory location. ಆ memory location ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Still it points to that memory location. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮೆಮೊರಿಯನ್ನು ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. After using that memory location, we free it or we release it. Still that pointer will point to that memory location. So let me show you this through one program. How dangling pointer causes the segmentation fault. Let me write one program which demonstrate how dangling pointer causes the segmentation. Int main. Let me take one pointer, say int ptr. So initially I am initializing with null. So this is a valid statement. As I told you in the previous sessions, we can initialize null value to the pointer, and this pointer will point to some function called fun. Okay, that meaning is pointer is pointing to the function and it takes whatever fun is returned, and that returned value will be printed here. So I'm printing that value. Let us see what it is returning. Okay, return 0. So here fun is called, fun is a function, write it in proper way. Okay, fun. Next, int fun. Here I'm declaring, say int x equal to 10 and return the address of x. But students, you can see here what is the scope of this function fun, or what is the scope of this integer variable x. So its scope is limited to only this function block, as x is the local variable. Once it encounters the closing brace, its scope is vanished. Hence, it is not returning anything to the pointer. Okay, meaning is its memory is deallocated. Okay, in that case, what pointer will be pointing? Let us see this. Its memory is not existing, x memory is not existing, still this pointer is pointing to this one. That meaning is pointer is pointing to some non-existence memory location, which will cause the segmentation fault. See here, what is the output? Segmentation fault. It is giving segmentation fault because it is pointing to non-existence memory location, because fun is not returned anything. Its operation was vanished within the function block. Hence, pointer is pointing to some non-existence memory location, which leads to segmentation fault. So here I can tell pointer is a dangling pointer. So this we can call it as dangling pointer. Understood, students, the concept of dangling pointer? So simple definition of this dangling pointer is dangling pointer is also a pointer which points to some non-existing memory location, right? So to overcome this problem, what should we do? After usage, you simply declare it as null, right? Again, pointer null. Understood, students, the concept of dangling pointer? Okay, now come back to the other drawbacks of pointers. So for every time we need to deallocate the blocks explicitly. ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಸಿಟ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೀ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರಂತ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫ್ರೀ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲೀಕೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಲೀಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೀಕ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನು? ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ರೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. And pointers are slower than normal variables. Normal variables ಮತ್ತೆ pointers ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ pointers are slow. If pointers are updated with incorrect values, it might lead to memory corruption. As just we have seen the dangling pointer problem. So proper value ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ then memory corruption ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. For example, you are assigning a float type value to the integer type pointer, or you are assigning some integer type value to the float type pointer. Such type of operation will lead memory corruptions. Okay, students, so these are the drawbacks of the pointers. So while using the pointers, one should be very careful. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಅರೇಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, so what all things we discussed in the pointers? We discussed about basic concepts of pointers, and we also learned the declaration, initialization, and how to access the pointers. And also we discussed how to perform arithmetic operations on pointers, and what is the relationship between pointers and arrays. Also we understood the relationship between pointers and functions. Pointers can be passed as a arguments to the functions, and also we discussed how pointers can be used for structures. So here it completes the pointers chapter of the first unit, first part. In second part we will discuss dynamic memory allocation. If you have any doubts, please write to us lms.dtk@gmail.com. Thank you for watching this video.